Hello everybody, this is Marcella, the vegan house nurse practitioner. I am going to do a very quick garden video so that I can get on to some other videos I was planning. One, I was going to talk about hema iron and the dangers of it, and vitamin B12 has been a request. I have a lot of nurse practitioner type videos I need to do, so I need to get started with those, but I wanted to show you what I did this year for my garden. It was kind of neat. I had a couple of months off after graduating that I started working, and so in those couple of months, you know, you can't keep your mind still. You have to be thinking. So I created a lot of problems to work on. And one is a garden. This spot right here is between the house and a little shed I had built for my huge kiln. I also do art. I haven't done much in the past couple of years, but there is a kiln the size of, well, you could probably fit 5 full-grown people in that kiln. But anyway, it's pretty big. Let's get back to the garden because I only want this to last a few minutes. Down below there you see some purple kale that I received. Had a few worms trying to eat on it, but you know, that's a work in progress. This raised garden bed right here is about 6 by 8. I made it last fall, and I was told, you know, you put all the amendments in the soil and then let it sort of sit and work through the winter time. So that's exactly what I did. And springtime came and it was still quite a bit cold out when I put plastic over it and a little heater. In fact, if I back up, I'm trying not to move too much because when it moves too much, gives me a headache to look at it. See that see that little heater light right there? I had put it inside with the tomatoes and other plants I had growing in there. The tomatoes that you see right there hit around 15 feet. They're about 8 months old right now. It is October 4th. In fact, tomorrow's my birthday. When I planted those from seed, it was February, around the beginning of February. Grew them in my house under shop lights and put them in there. Ran them single stem, which means you pluck off the side branches and just, let one stem go up. What happens is you create, of course, a tall plant, but you're able to run it up one string and the air circulation's better, everything's better. I am really pleased with that whole idea and technique. Now, as you see, the bottom of the tomato plants no longer have their leaves, and that is something that occurs sorry, I'm trying to think about where I'm standing or stepping. It is one thing that you worry about, at least in the Midwest, is a lot of diseases and stuff, and you end up cutting the leaves off of the bottom. Well, to try to slow down the progress of these tomato diseases that we get out here on the plains. But what you end up doing, if your plant's only 4 feet tall, you know, about August, you're pretty much done. But not with a single stem. I mean, I've got 15 feet of tomato plant going up there to trim off. And every time you trim off some, well, of course, you've got more air circulation. Let me see, I have, oops, there looks like a tomato I need to pluck. I've been gone to the elephant sanctuary in Tennessee since Tuesday. It's now Saturday. I got back late Thursday, Friday morning. Anyway, I haven't been paying much attention to my garden, but it looks like there is a tomato over there that has split. And these, you know, old style tomato plant or tomatoes do tend to split easy. There is some cherry tomatoes, really neat. That top pole is about 9 feet, and then it went on over. This plant that you see that's all wilty looking, we got to 37 degrees last night, and I lost a few plants, not all, but a few. But it looks like there's part of a cantaloupe, or a cantaloupe, that isn't quite ready to, you know, to eat, is hanging there. I'll probably have to pull it anyway. It's about time to start getting the beds ready for next summer. Now, these are my big red Russian kale, and I want you to look underneath this leaf. I haven't been paying much attention to them. I have wasps, paper wasps, actually will eat all those little baby worms, and I had a couple of wasps that were coming through every day. You know, if you don't harm animals and wasps and bees, they aren't gonna sting you unless you wave at them or act like you're act like you're crazy or something. Then they'll sting you. But those wasps kept the caterpillars and everything cleaned off of all my kale most of the summer. Then about 2-3 weeks ago, I'd say about 3 weeks ago, they disappeared. So, you know, I live in the suburbs. Somebody must have found their nest and killed them all, which is really sad. People don't understand. If you work with nature, nature works with you. Anyway, there's a real nice looking. I'll have to pull that Hummer today. I had a lot of heirloom type pepper plants. Look at this one pepper plant. It's got to be, well, I'm 6 feet, so that's got to be 7 feet tall, a pepper plant. Anyway, gosh, there's a lot of tomatoes I need to pull. Anyway, I'm gabbing too much. There's some curly kale, just love it. This is my raised bed. I didn't want to spend much money. I didn't have much. I was totally student and living off of savings. But as you can see, I just had a 4x4 cut up and hammered some poles in the ground with a sledgehammer, somebody holding it of course, and put plastic on the inside of that plywood and so that the water wouldn't, you know, deteriorate the plywood so quickly, and it's really did pretty good. Let me move without moving too fast. There's the other side looking in. Looks like trees, tomato trees. Alright, and the noise you hear next to me, I also had some time to build a hydroponic garden. A three pipe, that reflector stuff helped keep that top one cool. Lost a lot of plants last night. Look at that. That's kind of sad. The moonflower plants, I had them in there. They were just about ready to bloom. I've never gotten one to bloom. And darn, if that cold snap didn't just kill them all. But anyway, there's some celery. There's some leftover strawberry plants. It was really cool. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. This has been a good summer of relaxation and creating things. There's my trash can full of solution that I have a little pump in there, costs about $15, and running water up to the top pole, and then it just goes on down and goes back into the tub and regenerates. When I want to change the water, I just open a little valve I put in there and it runs out away from the area. As you see, there's wood chips all along, and I can tell you that was the smartest thing I've ever done. It was a lot of work, but I dumped a bunch of wood chips on the ground. It used to become just slippery mud when it would rain, and this has been quite pleasant. Right here in this tub is where I make my compost tea. I always have something going. There's a little tube with an aerator stone that goes down in there. I have a filter on the end of my hose so that it filters out the chlorine so it doesn't kill all my compost tea bacteria. All right. Now, just recently, here about a week ago, I bought 2 compost bins that were on sale, and I mean, they were like $100 a piece, free shipping. It was absolutely fantastic because those particular compost bins run like $200 a piece. It was great. So anyway, I bought 2. I've already unboxed them and everything, and I plan on putting them together, maybe doing one video of it. This little area is my kind of shaded area for new plants and stuff. As you see, there's the sun would come down on them, so I've got, you know, I can work and do things, repot stuff on this little area right here. Just build it. It was simple. Just happened to have had the right things and put them together. All right, let's move on. Now I'm going to have to cut this out so it doesn't bother your eyes as we walk. Hopefully, maybe it won't. All right, I'm going to move over to the main garden. which actually is so shaded nowadays that it's not that useful except for greens, but that's okay. I love greens. All right, now as you see this area right there, I turned that into a morel garden this summer. Did what they said, put some charcoal and stuff in there and planted them, and hopefully in the spring I will have fresh morels. Boy, that looks a little sad. Oh, this guy is so yummy. Got my kale going there. Some strawberry, oops. Watermelon, although I planted that one so late that I doubt if we'll get anything. And there's my very big leafed red kale. In fact, I'm going to make some kale chips probably today or tomorrow. And there is about 4 or 5 loads of wood chips I had delivered. Oh, it was great. That looks good. Looks like he's doing good. I wonder if that'll make it. That could be watermelon, I think. I'm not quite sure. Planted some. This I was just playing in the wood chips. You actually can't plant directly into wood chips, but you can open it up, put dirt in there, close it back up, and you have a little small potting pot. There's my, I call it my trailer park because I have a trailer in there parked. And my neighbor had complained that she could see my trailer, so I had to spend $1,800 and put a little fenced-in area around it. Interesting to live in the suburbs. So I use that as a area where I mix up soils and things like that. If anybody knows, have been watching me on Facebook, there's the live trap that I caught that little baby raccoon in. And took him, he was kind of sickly, so I took him to the wildlife area, and they healed him up, and he's now been let go free. This over here is where I put together some mushroom logs this year. Never done that before, and it was kind of fun. You drill a little hole in there, and tap in these little 1-inch mushroom inoculated little dowels, and then cover them with a little bit of wax. That's what that red is. It's red wax. Cover the top so it kind of seals them in, and then you wait. Then hopefully this spring I will have lots of different mushrooms. Very interesting. You have to keep them a little damp. Oh, look at that. I bet a bird or something's been taking those out. Well, as long as he leaves enough for me. That white is all mycelium. Sorry, I want to pronounce it right. Excuse me. Very interesting. I have my maitake down there. I've got shiitake. I've got lion's mane. And it seems like I have one other type. I can't quite remember. Okay, I'm going to turn this around. Sorry for the blur. All right. Now we're going to walk over to the next garden. As you can see, it's over there. Now, see, I live in the suburbs, so I had to kind of design anything in the garden, anything in the front yard, which gets the best sun, so that it didn't really look like a tomato garden, because we're not allowed to do those sort of things. So I put poles up and ran the tomatoes as one single stem. Pulled down almost all of them except for a couple there, just so you can see, and they look fantastic. I got no complaints. It was perfect. Now, as you can see, there's string hanging. I've already clipped off most of the tomatoes, and these probably need to go. I've got 2 big pineapple tomatoes up there on top that need to be picked. I was just sort of waiting on. All of this wood chips I put in the springtime, and I've put in a lot of inoculation and things on it, lots of minerals, and boy, it's really breaking down fast, which is fantastic. And so as soon as I get everything cut down after this video, then I'll be putting a lot more minerals and stuff in there, getting ready for it to sit over the winter time. And then come springtime, we can plant some more tomatoes and all sorts of things. That was a little sad cucumber. He still looks sad. Definitely too old. I didn't even see it there. So anyway, I don't want this to last too long, but there's the torn down tomatoes right there. Anyway, I'm going to move this over to the other side of the yard. And there's the next little garden area I had. Put pepper plants. And as you can see, there's a bunch of red peppers over there that need to be picked. Alright, and we'll be cutting all that down the next couple of days. Alright everybody, I just wanted to kind of let you see what I've been doing. I sure do appreciate you subscribing to my channel. And if you like this channel, go ahead and hit like. And I shall start working on some more medical centered videos here shortly. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.